cunty Lord Farquaad tonight. And that is the end of my Shrek references. Sorry. Thank you. Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Those shoes.
Thank you, Queen. I know you might not tell because I don't have the ethnic nose or the ethnic horns, but I am a Jewish woman, so it's so nice to celebrate with you guys tonight. So let's talk about Israel, huh? No, I don't have much to say. It's just that since the whole conflict started happening, everyone's like reaching out because they know I'm Jewish, and they're like, "Are you okay? Like, how's your family?" I'm like, "My family's in Philadelphia." I don't know those Jews over there. Right? It's not like there's some like cabal of Jewish people in a network deciding what to do with Palestine. You're thinking of the United States government. And let's face it, we wouldn't need a state like Israel if there wasn't so much anti-Semitism. You know? Like in this room. Like, sir, you have a resting Holocaust denier face. I can see it. And it makes me so angry that there are people that hate Jews having never even met them. Right? Because, like, I was raised by Jews. My whole family's Jewish, and they don't know how bad it can get. They are awful. Because most, like, U.S. Jews are what we call house Jews. Right? So they all have, like, an anxiety disorder and, like, a small emotional support animal. And the only conflict they're willing to engage in is asking to speak to a manager. Right? Israeli Jews are field Jews, and they commit war crimes. Thank you. I was just back in Philadelphia visiting family and friends, and because I was subpoenaed, and I didn't do it, I was the victim. And I'm going to give a trigger warning. It's kind of a Law and Order SVU kind of story, so white women don't get too aroused. Okay? Sorry, I'm still alive. It gives away the ending. But back in the day, I was a dancer. And not like a this kind of dancer, more like a this kind of dancer. And if I was honest, more like a this kind of dancer. And people think stripping is an exploitative job for women. And no, why we don't get like sick days or I don't know, child care or the ability to report sexual harassment in the workplace. There was a ton of cocaine. And the work-life balance I was thinking at that time in my life. And so there was this guy, his name was Jose Torres, he's from New Jersey, he's now a convicted felon. So Jose would do what many men do. He would offer dancers a sum of money to go back to his hotel with him after the shift. And I know you're wondering now, oh my God, did she take the money? And of course I did.
Yeah, you did.
And you all would too, right? Everyone has their whore price, okay? Mine even had a comma in it. Thank you. If I'm being honest, it was more of a decimal point. How many hookers do you know that much about punctuation? And Jose Torres assaulted all of these women, except me. Which makes me wonder, how do they have that I don't? What about hashtag #MeToo? You guys are monsters. No. It was very hard to get the FBI to respond to like someone assaulting sex workers, and it took 7 years of like advocacy and then preparing for the trial and preparing for cross-examination and testimony. And so I finally flew 6,000 miles to Philadelphia for the trial, only to be told that I didn't need to testify. But it was fine because they paid for my flights and everything, because your government loves giving money to Jews. And he was convicted. And yeah, and the craziest part of the whole thing is that the FBI was like, okay, can you give us your phone records? And I was like, don't you guys already have that shit? Like, how many of you think the government is spying on us? Yeah. How many of you think they should be spying on us? Good. People with something to hide, like you guys. I'm a white woman in America, so I'm never going to be held accountable for anything I do. But I just like don't need someone knowing how often I buy drugs and harass my ex-boyfriend, you know? Like, could you imagine during like phone operator times, like, how may I direct your call? Put Curtis on again, you know? And for the record, Curtis was my ex-boyfriend, and my drug dealer, and my pimp. Just kidding, I was an independent contractor. Girl boss. And yeah, let's talk about dating. Yeah, I know you're wondering. Socially, I identify as a lesbian, but financially, I'm a heterosexual. Ultimately, I identify as a sapiosexual. Anyone else? Yeah? Who knows what that means? It's when you're attracted to someone's intelligence, so call me. I'm not going home with any of these dummies up there. So I like smart people. I'm mostly attracted to women. I wish that was true. I really, really like men. I was born this way, and no one is more upset about it than I am. Besides the men I date. And if there's anything I've learned dating men, it's kind of like eating red meat. Like, it's not good for my health, and it's not good for the planet. But it isn't delicious. Yes, and a lady shouldn't kiss and tell, but she can peg and tell. And I see some fans. I'm not going to explain what pegging is in a gay bar, okay? But it just goes to show that a woman's work is never done, okay? And why I do identify as more polyamorous, is this a fancy word for slut for you dum-dums out here? I have found since moving to this hot, sexy, tropical climate that one lover is just better for my vaginal pH balance.
It's all about the pH.
It's all about the pH. Tell it. Yes, tell us about our vaginas, sir. I was dating this younger man, and he would always like kind of say passive-aggressive shit about me aging. And while we were like together one night, he suggested a role play where he was like, "How about you be the stepmom and I'll be the stepson?" And I was like, "You go to your room, young man. That is so disrespectful." But I'm not one to not take an opportunity for the stage. So I figured if he was like a Gen Z, he'd probably be autistic. He created a scene where he like wheelied into my room with his stupid shoes. I slowly and sensually take off his autistic headphones. What are they listening to? I don't know.
Brown noise.
I put a condom on, which really aggravates his sensitivity. I call it getting my steps in. I do have a boyfriend now. He's an immigrant because I'm a hero. He's of German heritage. He's from Brazil. And there comes a time in every relationship where you have to ask, were your grandparents Nazis? And why a woman doesn't kiss a Nazi and tell, it has made roleplay a gas. And he has this real like daddy energy. Like it's real like pure vibe. Which means he's a peer of mine because I'm not fucking old. Like we have a date to get colonoscopies next year. Now, who's a daddy here tonight? Where are daddies? Thank you for your service. Someone's got to keep these sluts in line. What about mommies? Yes, because that's not a thing. No, you're a mother, honey. Because moms have to love you, but daddies choose to love you. Who here has had their life changed by plant medicine? No? Did cocaine ruin your life too? When I first moved here, I got a job and I failed a drug test with cocaine, which is very embarrassing because it's out of your system in like 24 to 48 hours. So it shows more like poor time management than a real problem. I did move here about 5 years ago to come work on a farm and clean up my act, and I realized that's something a lot of toxic white people from the mainland are doing too. We don't send our best. And I like to say I changed, but I just started partying with hippies. Some of them are here tonight. They are good people. But it's different now, because when you're with hippies, you aren't doing drugs, you're taking medicine. And you aren't getting high, you're ascending. And you aren't selling your body for money. You're a goddess demanding an offering. And drug use is like the least weird thing that happens at a hippie party. There's like alien saints in one room, a sound bath in the other, which is the only bath anyone there has taken. Crystals everywhere, lapis lazuli, rose quartz, crystal meth. And they always ask you this question. Hippies always ask you this question. They ask, where are you from? And they aren't asking where you grew up or like where in the island you live. They're asking which galactic star family you're a part of. And you guys have a real Pleiadian energy this evening. Obviously, I'm an Andromedon. And anyone who laughed at that will sell you acid tonight, and I really I am honored to serve the Big Island as a therapist. That wasn't the punchline, but yes. I love being a therapist because people think I really care about people, and I do care about people when I am paid to care about people. And I got into the field because I've been a frequent patient myself. I do have a mental health diagnosis. And for those who don't know what it is, it's a very fancy and expensive way to find out why everyone's mad at you. It's science's way of saying, it's you, honey. You are the problem here. And my toxic trait is I go from therapist to therapist, and I honestly think they're gonna be like, Lindsay, we've never seen this before, but you are the real victim here. But they keep saying bipolar disorder. And I really like to incorporate dream work into my therapy practice. You guys familiar? Dreams have so much symbolism to help us better understand our lives. After the time I pegged that guy, I had a dream I was breaking into the trunk of someone's car. And before the show last night, I had a dream of my father eating me out. Here, it's symbolic, guys, perverts. And I think I just wanted him to be proud of my performance. And he was, because I'm a squirter. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Lindsay out here doing the Lord's work, making the jokes no one else will.